And hi, everyone. I'm very, very sorry for the delay. Very sorry for the confusion on our end about the tech and the simultaneous translation. We're obviously having some challenges. We unfortunately will not be able to arrange the simultaneous French translation for this session. What we will be doing, though, is having an audio of this webinar translated at a later time, and we will post the English and the French recordings so that if there's any folks who have signed on today for the simultaneous and are not getting it, there will be a French version of the audio available at a later time. Thank you very, very much for your patience. With that, I think we'll keep going. Before we go any further, I do, with thanks, want to acknowledge that National Collaborating Center for Determinants of Health is in Mi'kmaq. We are the ancestral and unceded territory of the Mi'kmaq people. Because we're a national organization, I want to extend this gratitude and recognition and thanks to our Inuit, First Nations, and Métis, Inuit, First Nations, and Métis communities across the country in all of our provinces. A little bit about the National Collaborating Centers for Public Health. There's 6 of us. You can go to the website to learn a bit more. And this is a little bit about the NCC for Determinants of Health, where I am from. And again, you go to our website for some more information. I am going to quickly turn this over to my partner, Irv Rootman. This is a webinar that is a true partnership between the National Collaborating Center and Health Promotion Canada. So Irv, can I turn it over to you? And you are muted, Irv. Can you unmute?
Yes, certainly you can turn it over to me now. I too would like to acknowledge that I live, walk, and speak on the unceded traditional lands of the Musqueam, Tsleil-Waututh, and Squamish Coast Salish people. So on behalf of Health Promotion Canada, I want to welcome you to the second in a series of webinars based on the recently published book on promoting the health of older adults, The Canadian Experience. Health Promotion Canada is an organization and community of people from across Canada that aim to advance the practice of health promotion in Canada and have organized a number of webinars in participation with the National Collaborating Center on Determinants of Health over the last couple of years. I'd like to welcome you on behalf of the editors also and the contributors, as well as Canadian Scholars Press, the publishers of the book. With regard to getting a copy of the book, I'm pleased to announce 2 things. First is that there will be a draw today for a free copy of the book. And Diane will pick the name from the list of participants here today. Second, if you are interested in purchasing the book, Canadian Scholars is offering you a discount. Visit Canadian Scholars and use the discount code on this slide. We'll put the code in the chat box as well. So, finally, 35 years ago, the Ottawa Charter for Health Promotion was created and has served as a global framework for promoting health for all ages since that time. The book and this webinar series are organized around the 5 action strategies in the Charter to promote health, well-being, and equity of older people. Today, we take a look at a second of these strategies, namely creating supportive environments. And we have 3 knowledgeable presenters who will address the topic of creating equitable and age-friendly communities, drawing mostly from the content of the 3 chapters that they authored with others. So with that, I'll let Diane introduce the presenters and get us going.
Thanks, Serve. This has been a really wonderful relationship between National Collaborating Centre and Health Promotion Canada. And I think we've produced some good work together, and I'm really quite honored to work with you. These are the objectives for our conversation today. And these are ones that we'd like you to consider really carefully as you fill out the evaluation survey. The link to that will be shared in the chat box a few times throughout the webinar. And we have three wonderful speakers with us today. So a little bit about them. Melanie Levasseur is an occupational therapist. She's Director of Research and full professor at the School of Rehabilitation at l'Université de Sherbrooke. And she's a researcher at the Research Center on Aging. She is a CIHR new investigator and senior researcher position with Fonds de la Recherche du Québec Santé. Her research program targets development and evaluation of interventions to promote social participation of older adults, including preventive occupational therapy with the Lifestyle Redesign Program. And I just remembered something I forgot to say earlier. So before I introduce Suzanne and Verena, closed captioning is available during our webinar today. So on the bottom of your screen, you'll see a More button with 3 dots. If you click the 3 dots and click on Show Subtitle, you can have live English closed captioning transcription if that helps with accessibility. So Suzanne Garong is a sociologist retired from University of Sherbrooke, where she was full professor at School of Social Work. She was principal investigator of the Quebec research team Equitable Quebec, investigating implementation and evaluation of the WHO Age-Friendly Cities and Communities program. She's founder and director of a WHO Collaborating Centre on Age-Friendly Environments, and is a member of the board of directors of the International Federation on Aging. And Verena Menek is, or Verena in English, is a professor in the Department of Community Health Sciences at the University of Manitoba. Her main research interests lie in the areas of determinants of healthy aging, social isolation and loneliness, and age-friendly communities. She is the Manitoba site lead of the Canadian Longitudinal Study on Aging, which is the largest study on aging ever conducted in Canada. And it follows approximately 50,000 men and women between the ages of 45 and 85 for 20 years. So that will be an amazing amount of data.